We all have that one deck we love to play, but sometimes it just can't keep up anymore. In this series, we break down what's working, what's holding the deck back, and where smart upgrades can make the biggest difference. We're focusing on consistency, power, and matchups in the current meta. No rebuilding from scratch, just clean, efficient improvements. Let's tune this deck and see how far it can really go. Welcome to Deck Tuning. What's up, guys? My name is TechnoTuner, and today I'm bringing to you basically cool tune Elfnote. We're going to be looking at Elfnote decks to see what we can do to tune them up for either Genesis format or just to give you an idea on how you can further improve them to get you to that next level. For Elfnote, their main aesthetic is to summon to the center main monster zone and being able to get a level 6 body out onto the board, but also being able to give Medius the Pure a capability to go into a level 10 synchro or a level 7 through Elfnote Sephirim Strelitzia, being able to use that Power Patron to go into a synchro summon. Now, while this card is very helpful, this deck does lack a little bit of consistency and basic pushing power. Now, how can we do that? That pushing power we can set up for Genesis format by interacting Cool Tunes, since they got the actual boost in points given their playability and most likely interaction that most people are seeing. And since hand traps are being hit with more points, we're looking to really further scale back our hand traps, but give us that capability to still set up some pretty cool boards. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why am I playing Plague Spreader Zombie? Why am I playing Revolution Synchron? Why am I playing the Rose Whip in Synchro Zone? Well, this deck is looking to slow down the game enough to where you can use it, but also being able to recycle those cards back in so you have those playable capabilities to either A, set up level 8s, set up the Cool Tune stuff, or set up actual monsters that can put a bit of threat to your opponent's board. We have Elfnote Lucina. You can special summon this card from your hand to the center main monster zone. You can special summon Elfnote Lucina once per turn this way. You can only use each of the following effects of Elfnote Lucina once per turn. During your main phase, you can add one Elfnote monster from your deck to your hand, except Elfnote Lucina. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you switch the locations of this card in your main monster zone and the monster in your center main monster zone. And then you return one level 6 or lower monster your opponent controls to the hand. The next one is Elfnote Tinia. Once again, the whole special summon shtick of special summoning to the center main monster zone. You can only special summon it once per turn this way. You can only use each of the following effects of Elfnote Tinia once per turn. During your main phase, you could place one Elfnote continuous spell from your deck face up on the field. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can switch the locations of this card in your main monster zone and the main monster in your center main monster zone. Then you can banish one face-up random card from your opponent's hand until the end phase. So giving you that hand rip, but also giving you another capability of getting the spell Elfnote Welcome Home onto the board. The monsters in your center main monster zone cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can send one monster from your hand or field to the graveyard, special summon one Elfnote monster with a different original attribute from your deck in defense position. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except synchro monsters. Okay, that's perfectly fine. That's what we're doing. The other thing is we're playing one Elfnote Fortuna to get us access to Aristia. Fortuna is basically the Testina, but searches the Aristia trap. The other thing is you can switch the locations of this card in your main monster zone during your opponent's turn, and the monster in your center main monster zone. Then you can return one face-up spell and trap on the field to the hand, which can hurt your opponent a bit depending. But being able to run Aristria, you can target one face-up monster you control, move that monster you control to another of your main monster zones. When your opponent activates a spell or trap while you control 3 or more Elfnote monsters, you can negate that effect. Then if you control a synchro monster, you can destroy that card. You can only use this effect of Elfnote's Aristria of Trust once per turn. You cannot activate these effects of Elfnote's Aristria of Trust in the same chain. So, once again, giving you a bit more protection, but the other thing here is Synchro Zone. Neither player can declare attacks except with synchro monsters. It's like we have nothing but synchro monsters. You can only use each of the following effects of Synchro Zone once per turn. If a non-tuner synchro monster is sent to the graveyard, except during damage step, you can target one of those monsters, special summon it. And if you do, it is treated as a tuner. Giving you further capability to go into your cool tune plays and play around there. During your opponent's main phase, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard. Immediately after this effect, resolve, sync, or summon using monsters you control as material. Giving you that capability going into your level 10s, your level 8s, and further on up. While we have Cool Tune Trackmaker, that gives you the capability of adding a Cool Tune card from your deck to your hand. RS from the actual negate. And Mix being able to add one and summon one. But also Loudness War being able to protect your tuners, which can help out greatly. The other thing is Elfnote Seraphim Sretzilia. This card's original attack becomes 3,000 while in the center main monster zone. During the main phase, quick effect, you can special summon level 6 or lower Elfnote monster from your hand or graveyard. Then you can reduce the levels of all level 4 or higher monsters on the field by 3 until the end of this turn. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except synchro monsters. Once again, giving you that protection effect to give you that further capability. Now, here's another card that a lot of people forget was in Battle of Legends, but can also help as a bit of a card draw for this deck, which is Synchro Creed. If a Synchro monster is on the field, draw one card. Then if 3 or more Synchro monsters are on the field, you can draw one more card. You can only activate one Synchro Creed per turn. Being able to give you that effect for a card draw can help out greatly. The other thing is, if you're trying to go into Clearwing Synchro Dragon, Ancient Fairy Dragon, etc., you can use Revolution Synchron and Elfnote. Rev Synchron basically turns it into, hey, I'm going into a level 7 or 8 monster, or dragon monster. This card is in your hand, can be used as material, which can function as your tuner. But it's also another tuner that you can use with the cool tunes to go into your level 6, your level 5, even your level 4 if needed, depending on what monsters you have. Red Novas just are summoned off of Q, of course, but Plague Spreader is a recurable one that we can use by summoning it from our graveyard and then placing one card that we don't want in our hand or we want to hold off until next turn so it isn't ripped. Or just put something on top of the deck to mess with Hecka hands. This can allow us to place a card on top of the deck and further help us there. But that's all that I really have for this deck build for you guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next deck build for Elfnote. So, what was the one issue we had with Elfnote? Oh, they summon to the main monster zone, center main monster zone, only once per turn. What's the one issue we had with Cool Tune? It can tuner lock you. Okay, cool. How do we get around this? Well, we have a really good synchro engine as is through Centurion. Centurion gives us the level 10, level 8 access that we can use. It also gives us the full board capability of using the Medius the Pure engine, where we can run Etherealize, Medius the Pure, Power Patrons, etc. But also Centurions give us the capability of going into our level 12s, our level 8s, and some of our level 10s as well, that can get us those extra board breakers, those extra summons, those extra interactabilities, through such as Diabella, Queen of the White Forest, to summon out Zaylin, the Shackled Dragon. This can get us into further plays, further interactions, that prevents our opponents from really breaking our board, but also giving them capability of being like, oh crap, I interacted with this, yeah, I'm a little out of luck. The other thing is, we can go into Crimson Blader. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, your opponent cannot normal or special summon level 5 or higher monsters during their next turn. So this can lock out a lot of things such as Canine or Draco Tail, which can hurt them on their next turn. The other thing that we have access to is Chaos Archfiend, because if we banish one of our cards, such as Medius the Pure, we can make this card gain 2,000 attack, going to 4,500 attack. It can attack all monsters your opponent controls, which can hurt them a lot, and it banishes any monster destroyed by battle with this card. If this card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can special summon one Chaos Synchro monster from your extra deck except Chaos Archfiend. So that can really hurt your opponent a lot as well. Now, for those people that don't know what Centurions do, Centurions are basically the if you've ever seen Gurren Lagann, that's basically what this is based off of. Primera is our normal or special summon. You can add one Centurion card from your deck to your hand. Trudea, if it's on the board in the main monster zone, or on the in the monster zone during your main phase, you can place this card you control in one Centurion monster from your hand or deck, except Centurion Trudea, in your spell and trap zone, and then place this back in the spell and trap zone as a continuous trap as well. Allowing you to set Gargoyle 2. You can send one face-up Centurion card you control to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon Centurion Gargoyle 2 for the rest of this turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can add this card to your hand. During the main phase, if this card is continuous trap, you can special summon this card, then reduce its level. You can reduce its level by 4, so allowing some level modulation. We have Emeth, which is basically the graveyard option. During your opponent's turn, if this card is in your hand or graveyard, quick effect, target one Centurion monster you control, except Emeth 4, place it in your spell and trap zone as a face-up continuous trap. And if you do special summon this card, also you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn during the main phase, Centurion Emeth 4, or excuse me, 6. Sorry, Emeth 6 for the rest of this turn. During the main phase, if this card is a continuous trap, you can special summon this card. So giving you another level 8 body. We have Centurion Autry, which is another level 4 tuner. Chimera, which is another level 4, which when your opponent activates a monster effect as Chainlink 2 or higher, you can make the activate effect become your opponent places one Centurion monster from their face-up field or graveyard in their spell and trap zone. So this can interact as a effect change instead of an effect negation, which can help out as well. The other thing is Autry, if this card is normal or special summon and you have both an Emblema card and a Centurion card in your graveyard, you can draw one. Also, you cannot special summon Centurion Autry for the rest of this turn. But if it's a continuous trap, you can special summon this card. Same way with Chimera. Now, why am I playing Centurion with this deck? And why is it so good? Well, Centurions do a minimal amount of summoning during your turn, giving you the capability of summoning and synchro summoning during your opponent's turn through the effect of Stand-Up Centurion. Cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects while you control Centurion monster card. You can only use each of the following effects of Stand-Up Centurion once per turn. During your main phase, if this card was activated this turn, you can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, place one Centurion monster from your deck in your spell and trap zone as a face-up continuous trap. If a monster is special summoned, you can immediately, after this effect resolves, synchro summon one synchro monster using monsters you control as material, including a Centurion monster. Do note that this doesn't synchro lock you. It gives you the capability of building those boards, and it doesn't lock you into tuners or anything like that as well, giving you further accessibility as well. So this can help you establish more. Now, if you were looking to improve this deck, I would cut the Chimera for another Midius the Pure. I would probably minimize the overdrive. I would run one overdrive and 2 to 3 Etherealize. I would cut the Fate Links and run hand traps. I would cut Synchro Zones and run hand traps. There are further capabilities and boards in which you can do with this to further improve this deck. But you're also doing a couple other things, such as Enigmaster Pack Bit, which allows you to place a card in your graveyard or one face-up monster opponent controls. Discard one card, place that monster in your owner's spell and trap zone as a continuous trap. So it lets you recycle a monster you may need. You have Enlightenment Paladin, which can then give you the capability of when this card destroys an opponent's monster of battle, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. You have Vengeance Dragon, which allows you to place a monster. So you can target one face-up monster on the field or in either graveyard, place in its owner's spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. Also, you can this card cannot use this effect the next turn. During battle phase, you can target one monster and one continuous spell on the field, destroy them, so giving you interactable pop-ability. We have Primera Primus, which allows you to add one Emblema card from your deck or graveyard to your hand, giving you additional recyclability. And then you can destroy 2 cards, one on each field. If a face-up Centurion card you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, those cards in the graveyard, you can special summon it. So once again, a recurable level 8 tuner that can help out as well. So being able to really work with that. But we also have Legacia. The other card that I'm not really playing is the other level 12 for Centurion, because it's 33 points and it can hurt a little bit more, but it does give you a bit more recurability. But Legacia has the access of, if this card is special summon, draw one card, then destroy one monster. Destroy the monster your opponent controls with the highest attack. During end phase, you can place one non-synchro Centurion monster from your hand or graveyard in your spell and trap zone as a face-up continuous trap. Once again, perfectly fine, but we're looking to maximize the capability that we have with this deck for Genesis right now, so we have that capability. But if I was looking to really increase this deck ceiling a bit, I would probably leave this ratio for these, keep the Crimson Blader as a side deck option. You can run a Despian Luluwilth, which is insanely funny because once return, if a card leaves the extra deck, you can make all monsters you control gain 500 attack permanently, then negate the effects of one face-up card on the field until the end phase of this turn. During the end phase, if this card was sent to the grave because it was sent there this turn, you special summon one light spellcaster monster from your hand or deck whose attack equals its own defense. Centurion Primera. So, giving you extra summon ability access. I would keep the Diabell, the Draco Berserker, the Elfnote, and Pack Bit. I would probably side the Enlightenment Paladin for the other Centurion card. But the other thing is, I would probably just run Crimson Dragon in another level 12, so I have that interaction in negation through the Stardust line, or banishment through the Red Nova line. There is a lot of capability for this deck to go further and further beyond with these deck builds. You just have to fine tune it for your best suited playability and options in which you want to do. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for you today. If you liked today's video, please feel to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.